Okay. Good morning, everybody. And special thanks to my cheerleaders and my coaches who are trying to help me with this incredible thing. There was an instruction this morning about screen sharing, and I fiddled with that button, and I don't know if I can make that work or not today. Oh my God. It's quite early. It's not yet 7 o'clock. And I've been downstairs with the first round of taking the dogs out to pee, and the 2-year-old spent the night, and he's up running around. And so it's morning on the prairie. Mike was still in bed. He put up a stack yesterday of 40 square, 400 square bales of straw. And I guess there was about 350 round bales in addition to the square bales in that one field. That's an awful lot of straw. Bumper crop. Okay, and I don't know, okay, let's get right to this. I am going to change screens, and I don't know if I can get that other. I will try. I don't know what will happen with this screen share thing. We're going to go to Max's thread. This is my blog. I don't know. Is that showing up? All right. It is showing up. Awesome. All right. We have to talk about this nationwide call to action. But I'm going to put it back to the other thing. Ugh. Oh dear, now I can't even get it. There we go. All right. The techno stuff is so hard for me. Okay, a nationwide call to action. Day of Rage protests are scheduled for July 15th in these American cities. This is coming to us from Daisy Luther. She's a prepper. She's had a big blog up for several years. She's right on. She posted this on July 11th. There's a war in America right now, black versus white, citizen versus police officer. Race grievances have become an industry, and business is booming. The rage is boiling over across the nation. First, videos emerged that showed the graphic deaths of 2 black men at the hands of police with what appears to be no reason. Protests erupted over these deaths, and then they became violent as one man shot 11 police officers and 2 citizens at a rally in Dallas, Texas, killing 5. That sparked a war on law enforcement officers and a nationwide spree of violence against cops. Some people are even more extreme, declaring open season on white people in general, and it's about to get worse. The hacktivist group Anonymous is now calling for a nationwide Day of Rage protests on Friday, July 15th. The video below promotes the protest. Warning, there is some disturbing and graphic violence in this video. Okay, that's Daisy's point of view, and I certainly see where she got that point of view. I want to digress a little bit, though, and remind you all that for several years we have been besieged with hundreds and thousands of videos that had to do with bad cops, particularly cops killing people's dogs in people's yards, in their own homes. Cops doing this, cops doing that. Some of these were, of course, authentic. Many of these, however, were not. There has been a campaign for several years that I'm aware of to denigrate the American police force from every possible way. To a great extent, that actually has happened. That has worked. We know, for example, that the chief of police in Portland, Oregon, has been Illuminati for, I don't know, probably 50 years. The same with the chief of police in Los Angeles. What I'm saying is that there are dirty cops. There sure the hell are dirty cops, and most of them are on the top. The little guys down on the block are us. They are us. So there has been a war on cops for already a couple of years. This was part of the whole extensive geoengineering of this crisis. I have known a lot of cops. I'm not acquainted, I'm new here in this area, but in the area where I lived for 40 or 50 years, I knew a lot of cops. I knew them very well. I know they're, yeah, there's some badasses. 90%, however, of the American police force that is out in the hood, in the neighborhoods, in the patrol cars, are not badasses. They've been badly maligned. They, like the doctors, who have also been badly besieged, are as distraught and confused as anybody. So Daisy Luther's version of this is not quite right on, in my view. But anyway, going on. Daisy says, I firmly believe that we are being distracted and manipulated. Yeah, she can say that again. So that we stop paying attention to the machinations and corruption of presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton. Daisy's seeing this from a political view. But regardless of who is seeing this or from what view they are looking at it, we need to look very closely at this nationwide call to action, which I guess has been very loudly trumpeted by Anonymous, the alleged hacksters. For a long time, some of us, I certainly did, entertained the possibility that Anonymous was on our side. Now I am totally convinced that Anonymous is just a George Soros funded psyops put out there on the internet with a million other things like Nibiru And God only knows what. No, we have. It's just mind-boggling what all they have put out there over the time going on. Nationwide call to action, July 15th, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m., depending on your time zone. And I'm going to read off this list of cities. If you can remember the list of American, what the hell did they call it, UN sanctuary cities, some of these overlap. I can't remember them all offhand, but I will point out the ones I can. Okay, there's a protest scheduled for Phoenix. This is going to be 5 p.m. on the 15th. 15th is a Friday. Look for a goddamn long hot weekend coming up. The Ides of July. Phoenix, Phoenix, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona. Little Rock, outside the state capitol building. That's Arkansas State Capitol building. San Francisco, that'll be 4 p.m. In San Francisco. Oakland, 4 p.m. California. Los Angeles, 4 p.m. Denver, it's going to be 5 p.m. See, all these times are coordinated. Denver, Colorado. Washington, D.C. at the White House at 7 p.m. Atlanta, Georgia. Tampa, Florida, 7 p.m. Orlando, Florida, 7 p.m. Miami, Florida, 7 p.m. Chicago is 6 p.m. at the Daly Center. Des Moines, Iowa State Capitol. New Orleans at 6 p.m. Baltimore, Maryland at 7 p.m. Boston, Massachusetts State House, 7 p.m. Detroit, 7 p.m. Back to Michigan. Lansing, Michigan. Ann Arbor, Michigan. 3 in Michigan. Minneapolis, that's Minnesota. St. Louis, the Gateway Arch, you know, I talked for a long time about meet me in St. Louis. We're damn sure going to meet up in St. Louis at some point in all of this. Carson City, Nevada, Nevada State Capitol building, back to 4 p.m. Manhattan, New York, 7 p.m. Newark, New Jersey, 7 p.m. Durham, that's North Carolina, 7 p.m. Columbus, Ohio, 7 p.m. Cleveland, Ohio, 7 p.m. Cleveland, you know, is where the Republican National Convention is also scheduled. Portland, Oregon, Pioneer Courthouse Square, 4 p.m. Philadelphia, and that's where the, I think, you know, I still cannot quite, anyway, somewhere in Pennsylvania, the Democrats are having their convention. It's an odd thing that I keep drawing a mental blank on that one. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nashville, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, 6 p.m. Austin at Texas State Capitol building, 6 p.m. Salt Lake City, that's 5 p.m. Seattle, 4 p.m. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right, Daisy goes on to say, I strongly feel it won't end with people marching and chanting. The safest crowd is one you're not in. All of these places have the strong potential to become battle zones. Stay home. And if your home happens to be in or near one of these areas, be aware that your city could be under siege. Make plans to stay safe and hunker down with emergency food and purified water, or to go someplace safer. Stay safe, friends. This is from the Organic Prepper. Daisy Luther's advice is absolutely right on. All of these events are geoengineered. They are being twittered. They are being orchestrated. I don't know what else to say about this. Except I have learned something that makes all of this even a little bit more ominous, if that were possible. And that comes in a piece that I haven't yet put up on my blog, which I will do right now. Go in here and click the all right. This doesn't have a very good title. I'll fix that later. I just want to get it up there. Oh my. This very long piece. Very long piece. And I'm running really slow right now. There is another event that has been planned for a long time to take place on the 16th. This is being called Together. One moment can define a generation. Washington, D.C., July 16th. This is I guess this has been planned for quite a while, and it has been fronted by many of the large mainstream church groups. So it is well known. It hasn't come to my attention because I don't follow any of that. But it is well known, and it's being put up here, where this is going to involve, they're trying to do another million-man march on the Capitol Mall, on Saturday the 16th in Washington, D.C. And this is being touted as a Christian event. And the Christians are being called forward to come to Washington, D.C. on this Saturday. This is very, very ominous. You know, I just got out of bed and I'm not hitting on all cylinders yet. And who knows, I may not. I think I'm going to have to come back a little bit later and say more about this. In the meantime, I've put this new big piece up on my blog, and I'm I will start briefly at the top of this to explain it. Maybe I can do a screenshot of this. Who knows? Anyway, remember, I am not speaking to the general public. I'm speaking to a very small, specialized segment on the internet. It's not that anybody isn't welcome, but it's just that, I can't talk down to everybody. There's too much. Can't start from scratch. So I'm speaking with the people who have followed for a long time and know what I'm talking about. This piece is put up by something called Zurich Times. And I suspect in the back of this, where I found it on bin, that Glenn Kennedy, or perhaps his name is pronounced Kennedy, I'm not sure, but Glenn anyway. I believe that Glenn Kennedy put this piece up, put it together. It is a piece that has been compiled. It's quite extensive. And he has lately been talking with that crazy Tom Hennigan. Both of these gentlemen are affiliated with Stu Webb. We also know Stu Webb. Stu Webb used to be a supporter of Veterans Today until the big fallout over there with Gordon Duff's asshole behavior and all of that. So these are the parties who are behind this particular big article. And much of this information that they have put up here is true, accurate, correct. It isn't what the general public can deal with yet. Begins with a piece about Barbara Bush being the daughter of Aleister Crowley. We know that that is true. We do know who and what Aleister Crowley was. Yes, the black magicians have been running this charade called democracy from behind the scenes for several generations, now headquartered in Washington, D.C., but being run de facto from Texas and Maine, where the Bush's family homes are. That's also correct. Crazy, but correct. Shows pictures of Aleister Crowley, Barbara Bush, whose maiden name was Pierce, Pauline Pierce, the mother of Barbara Bush, and then it shows older photos of both Aleister. Remember Sandy Crowley, who used to be on CNN? She's related in all of this too. The look-alike, the family resemblance between Aleister Crowley and Barbara Bush. This is not new information. We've all seen this before. Going on. A video explaining the connections between Barbara Bush and Aleister Crowley. And we are just now coming to realize that Daddy Bush has been the real behind the scenes and in front of the scenes president ever since the assassination of JFK in Dallas. And just like magic, that same city is now back in the news with the Dallas shooting psyops. And there's a video about all of that. Yeah, Daddy Bush was very much definitely behind and involved in the assassination of JFK in Dallas. And certainly the same parties were involved in this recent, but I haven't seen this video yet, so I'm not going to, you can view it if you have time. And time is an issue. We can't view all of these things. There has to be a selection made. There just isn't time to keep up with everything. Going on, the Texas gang has run the show ever since with LBJ, then Ford, then Carter, as the cloned or older version of JFK. I don't know about that cloned older version part. I think that was kind of somebody's imagination, but then that's just my view. JFK then tried again with another assassination on Reagan. I certainly don't think that Reagan was clean and pretty. These writers do, however, so, there's still the political view. And Hannigan is still ranting and raving about how the election in 2000 got ripped off from Al Gore, as if anybody really wanted Al Gore to be president either. Just saying, y'all are aware of all this. And the fun continued with his protege and partner in crime, the Clintons. Yes, definitely partners in crime. And then we go off on to the thing about Al Gore. Okay. And then at the end of this story is where we are now in the present future in July 2016. About to elect another Clinton or a questionable Trump, whose VP selection choices are making everyone suspicious about his motives and affiliations. Next comes the Great Reset 2016.com event, where and when all things will be reset together in Washington, D.C. on July 16th, 16, and the 16 days of July will begin, and the nation will be offered up for another ritual sacrifice to the false demonic gods of the misguided. And then there are several videos posted. Warning, catalytic, something, Together Meet 2016. I'm going to have to do some serious research on this stuff. This just came to my attention, and I'm getting it up here as quickly as I can because time is of the essence, and we have to see clearly what is coming. The Zionist satanic serpent swallowing in its own symbolic tail, because it was all black Kabbalah magic, and all powers and principalities required ritual sacrifices as tributes. I'm reading this. There's really something ominous being put together here. It is all social, political engineering. This has all been manufactured. There's nothing organic about it. Okay, I need a cup of coffee. I need a cup of coffee. I need to say again to you all, I have to do this because I have to do it. I'm called to do it. It's on my heart to do it. I can't not do it. And pardon the cat. Oh. Oh. This is Rosie. Rosie was the kitten not too long ago. Now he's this enormous big thing. Yeah, this is Rosie. This is Rosie. We are here in the middle of a world-class mess. We have to do the best we can with it, with what we have to do with. We have to trust in a love greater than ourselves. We have to believe that we are somehow going to be and are divinely guided in ways that are not apparent. Not apparent. The kingdom does not come with observation. It comes from a deeper place. Not going to really see it, on mainstream news, on TV. Okay, when I get my wits together, I'm gonna come back and expand a little bit more on all of this. This was just a uh, heads up. Heads up. Be strong. Be brave. Remember, you are loved. The forum is available for new members. The admission is restricted. I gotta vet you. I'm not letting in any demonics or any trolls. Demonics and trolls are the same things. And our other forum got totally ripped by those who saw fit to take it over. The truth of that will eventually be revealed as well. In the meantime, I am not MIA. I am here. I'm going to stay here. And, I will be found. You can count on that. I will be found. All right. I'm going to stop this broadcast. And where did I go here? And I will come back later. Remember, you are loved.